All right, it has been 5 years. It's hard to even think that. 5 years since Off Axis has been a business. We started back in 2017 and we just crossed the 5-year mark. So I wanted to give you guys a little update and talk to you guys about the whole roller coaster that this journey has been on. All the sleepless nights, all the celebrations and everything. It's been such a journey and emotional roller coaster. There's always something new, and I would never take this back, and it's been such a blessed journey. I've learned so much, and I feel like I can take, if all else fails and Off Axis goes bankrupt or something, I have so many skills that I've learned from this business journey that I can really take anywhere, and I feel like I could place myself pretty high up in just about any company with the skills that I've learned. I've learned importing, I've learned insurances, like manufacturing, shoe design, like you name it. I've done just about everything you can possibly think of when it comes to business, and it's been the journey. So let's kind of start from the beginning. So for those of you who are new, I was a professional scooter rider for years. I had a sponsor called Razor. Razor is the biggest company in the world, basically, when it comes to like scooters and outdoor toys. And Razor sponsored me, and they basically flew me around the world. This is the easiest, best job you could possibly imagine, funnest thing ever, and honestly, it was like a dream come true. I never thought I would ever make a living off of riding a scooter, and I was blessed enough to be in the right position at the right time, near the right person. His name is Ollie. Ollie kind of like took me under his wing and flew me around the world, basically, to compete and put on shows and stuff. And after a while, I had my personal training certification. I was not making that much money doing personal training, and I wanted to get into Razor as a business and start maybe the first thing we did was sales. Then we moved into marketing, and eventually we finished doing social media, and I was also the team manager. So I have kind of like a background in all this stuff, and that plays into the reason why I was comfortable starting a company like Off Axis, which is basically a footwear company. We manufacture stuff, and as well we put on shows. Another quick little backstory. While I was sponsored by Razor, they also referred me over to All Wheels. And at the time, All Wheels was like one of the biggest companies. We were doing shows at theme parks and stuff. And I worked for All Wheels for 8 years. After 8 years, though, I felt like I needed to move on and kind of do my own thing, because I had kind of been doing that for Razor. We started a school show program. We were doing drug awareness shows for Razor and all that good stuff. But first, in 2016, I started my own social media firm. Basically, I quit working for Razor to start my own social media stuff because I saw basically the ROI that they were getting from social media. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to do this and just take this. Like, Rich Dad Poor Dad was the reason why I quit that job. And I was like, you know what? I have to do it on my own, because there's always going to be a cap to how much I can make working for another business. But there's no cap when you're an entrepreneur. And of course, there's a bottom cap of making absolutely zero or negative money, which happened. So there's also that. But my crazy adrenaline junkie self was like, I need more, and I need this like adrenaline addiction to be fixed by putting my own money behind my mouth, basically. So where we all got started was in 2017. I had basically lost all my clients for my social media company, basically due to YouTubers. And that's when I was like, you know what? I need to start my own YouTube channel, because this is where all the money's at and stuff. And, it's not too hard to like vlog yourself. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be honestly, YouTube in its own has been quite the journey, but we'll get into that later. So basically I started my own YouTube channel. Nickelodeon had found my YouTube channel, and what they had done was they found a video called Choreographing Tramp Ball Routine. And it was me basically like choreographing my friends doing tramp ball at this place called Junk Tramp. And they had reached out to me and said, hey, can you put together a tramp ball show for the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Sports Awards? And I was like, I have to make this work, I was going through a really bad breakup at the time, and that was like my motivation to get all this stuff going. So we got the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Sports Awards set up. There was a giant nightmare of things that happened. Like, the budget got cut in half, like super last minute. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care if I like lose money on this. I have to make it work no matter what, because I need to be able to sell shows in the future. And there was something in the contract saying I would not film this show. And I was thinking, like, you know what? I'm filming the damn show, because even though it said in the contract they would provide me with footage from the event, they never gave me that footage. And thank God that I filmed that show, which honestly, if I had not filmed that show, I would have probably not be where I am today. So unfortunately, sometimes you got to do some things that you're not supposed to do and break the rules just a little bit. So I set up my camera on a tripod, hid it behind some like cases and stuff, and got that footage. And after that, I had thought that I was going to do this Nightwalkers contract. I did not end up getting the Nightwalkers contract, and that was the moment that I was like, you know what? You're on your own. You got to figure it out. So I spent 1 week cold calling basically every single festival and fair and haunted amusement park and everything. And finally we landed on the Land of Illusion, who ended up giving us, I got to be honest, a really, really shitty budget for a show. And I was like, I have to make it happen because otherwise I'm not going to make any money. So what did I do? I took out a personal loan of, I believe it was $10,000. Took out a personal loan, got my own trampoline, and it wasn't just the trampoline. It was the trampoline, the tramp wall, the lighting, the sound system, a projector. We got everything. And at that point, I had already spent the entire budget. All right, another day at work. Me and Brandon are out here at the stage working on some tricks for the show. It's daylight right now, so it's a lot harder to throw the tricks when it's night and you can't really see much, but we're gonna warm them up in the daytime. That way when it's showtime, we got them dialed. I also got some new stage lights and some new wood for our railing, because our railing is pretty sketchy right now. It's actually probably not gonna save anyone. We got some new wood, we're gonna throw it up there. Enjoy these clips. And I was in so much debt, but we basically made that happen. And I got to give a big shout out to Brandon, who did the first ever off-axis gig. Brandon Davis was like the first guy that I ever hired. And had it not been for him, like pushing through this really shitty contract with me, we wouldn't be here today. It's all in these chest muscles. Just got to bench press this. Anyway, so after the Land of Illusion, basically, we didn't book anything for 6 months. I had moved to Las Vegas thinking, I'm going to start booking all these shows and stuff now that I'm in Vegas. Nope, nothing. I sat there, cold called people. What did I do? I got a job doing Postmates. I've been doing Postmates for about 2 months now. So I started doing Postmates, which was basically, in my head, I was like, there's no way I can work for someone else, because the mental energy that you exert working for someone else makes it basically impossible to go home and work on your own business. So I knew that I could work for Postmates and then still make enough money to get by and work on my businesses. And after I started working for Postmates, my dumbass took out another personal loan and started a shoe company. Because why not? Why not dig myself even deep? I'm already in the hole. Why not just dig myself even deeper in the hole and start a shoe company? Because everyone had been talking about how they wanted to start a tramp wall shoe company, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it because everyone's talking about it and no one's doing it, so I'm gonna do it. And I already had a background in like making products and like marketing and sales and stuff from Razor, so I was like, you know, this is like more up my alley anyways. I should be able to do this. That's a whole nother story, but we will talk about that also. Basically, we didn't book anything for 6 months though, and I gotta be honest, I'm very, very grateful for my roommates being patient. I was like, I had no money, I was in debt, it was not a good time. It was probably the roughest year of my life. There were so many nights where I probably wanted to cry, but I didn't cry. I held it in, and it was just 2017 was one of the roughest years of my entire life. But it built me into who I am today, so I'm still grateful for it. After basically 6 months of doing Postmates and stuff, I started getting a little bit more traction on the YouTube channel, and I started making about $200 a month on YouTube, which is that $200 meant everything to me at the time. I was like, that's 3 days out of the month that I don't have to do Postmates. And then we landed Flint Creek Circus. Ready for this? Which was a lifesaver because that show gave me enough money to pay off my personal loans that I had taken out and pay off my car and get out of the hole basically. But what happened after that? Absolutely nothing. We didn't book for another 6 months. It was 6 months before we had booked another show. And then we booked the San Antonio Rodeo, which has that one show has actually made me more contacts that were more important that we are now booking. But we booked the San Antonio Rodeo, which gave me another like kind of cushion to sit on for a little bit. And then no more booking for 6 months. After that, we did book the Q Productions show. It was a Christmas show in Reno and a few other places as well. And we had the Miracle Mile show, which was a teeterboard act. It was right in front of In-N-Out. And we had, I believe, had Olio and Jacob doing teeterboard. That gave me enough money to basically sit on and do sales calls basically for 2 months straight. And this is about the time where everything was getting really, really good. So for 2 months straight, I got a WeWork office. I sat there and I freaking called everyone you can imagine. And I had booked 23 shows. And it was a perfect tour. Nothing overlapped. It was the entire rest of the year. It was going to be like more money than I'd ever thought that I would ever make in my entire life. And this is January and February of 2020 when everything was going super smooth. And I think you guys know where we're going because COVID comes along and cancels every single freaking show. Not only did I lose all of that income that I had coming in, I had lost insurance money. Like so many things go involved with setting up a show. There's so much money that you have to put up front to make these shows happen. And it all disappeared. And not only did it disappear, but I was in debt basically. And we didn't book anything for an entire year after that because of COVID. But what happened during COVID was also, it was probably the second hardest year of my entire life. And what happened that year was I took my entire unemployment check, which was, I think it was like $12,000. I took out another personal loan and I invested another $25,000 into the shoe company. I got to give credit to my partner, Harley, who's also investing into the shoe company with me because it's been quite the journey. You know, there's been so many ups and downs and stuff. And the shoe business is a tough business to be in. And then we landed a deal with Tony Ferguson, which is my favorite UFC fighter that I always watched Tony Ferguson. He was like my favorite UFC fighter and somehow became friends with Tony, signed Tony. Tony put us on the map for the shoe company, and it's like, what did I just get signed up for? A lot of credit goes to Tony because what he did for us was like unbelievable, and we only had a product at the time. So him like trusting us and like seeing the potential that we had and like the marketability of Tony like tripled our sales just in that year. We went from selling actually more than tripled. We went from about 10,000 in shoe sales, and I had totally given up. I got to be honest. I gave up on the shoe company. And then we signed Tony, and it went up to $40,000 after that. And we made the Tony Ferguson signature shoes and everything like that. So shout out Tony. Also, in that time, seems like everything's starting to get better, you know? My YouTube channel goes from $200 to about $2,000, which is covering everything. This is like the greatest like passive income that you could ever possibly imagine. And then we book, this is in 2021, we book another Q Production show with Fernando doing a summer at the Viva La Cirque in Reno. And that gave me even more money. It seemed like everything was like going so well. YouTube, I think I had a month where I made about $10,000. And it was like everything was going super, super well. Of course, while everything goes up, there's always like a ricochet. And the shoe factory burns down right after we invested more money into the skate shoes. And they burned down with our skate soles in them. So it's like anytime something good happens, something bad happens right after and slaps you right back in the face. So the shoes got delayed for an entire year. We still actually haven't received them. They should be at the Long Beach port right now. But basically, since May of 2021, we've consistently booked shows every single month. And it has been quite the blessing to even be like booking this often. We've created over 100 jobs for people, and we've paid out over $200,000 in independent contractor fees and all that good stuff. And the shoe sales have been crazy. We've doubled what we did the year before. We're probably projected to make about $80,000 this year. And then I also, in the last 3 months or so, I quit my YouTube channel because I made a video that YouTube did not like. It was about a sensitive topic with the C word. I'm not going to talk about it though. And YouTube shadow banned me, and I basically lost about 80% of my viewership in a matter of a few days. So here we are. This is a YouTube video, but it's probably going to go on Instagram as well. It's been quite the journey, but this is where we are as of 2022. What month is it? It's August right now. So it's been quite a journey, and I just want to share it with you guys so that way you guys can see what we've gone, and also I kind of want to document the things that I've been on so that way 10 years down the line when Off Axis is $1 billion corporation, because we're taking on Nike, we're taking on Cirque du Soleil, we're going to be bigger than both of them, and I have huge goals for this company. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoy it, leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. If there's any parts of the story where you're like, ooh, that was a rough one or something, you know, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. We will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace. Also, if you haven't yet, go to offaccessathletics.com, order yourself some shoes, or help us book some shows if you want. Referrals are always accepted, and you will get a 10% referral for any shows that are booked. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Go check out the skate shoes and stuff, offaccessathletics.com. Subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Stay off axis.